Morning, welcome back to Mechanic Garage. Almost a week on since I collected this last Sunday, and this is the first time since then I've actually seen it in daylight, because obviously late nights. I've had a quick poke about and doing a few preliminary checks during the week, and hoping I can get this to run and maybe even drive for the last time, because it is a parts car. It's it's horrendous inside because it's just full of water. 1988 Skoda 130 GL, the pretty much top spec, very expensive compared to the other ones back in the day, which is why they're so rare, because they didn't sell in anywhere near the numbers that the 120 did. That's just what my green one is over there. But this one, if you've seen the previous video last week collecting it, had been sat in a hedge or in a load of conifers for many years. As you can tell, the paint's just washed away. It did have a vinyl roof, being a GL, and you can see little bits of it left in places. And what's left of it, what's left of it is the smallest bits that are rotting the pillars and things, but it's had water underneath it for a while, and sadly killed it, because everywhere it's trapped water is just eaten through the rust, eaten through the metalwork, and is dissolved. Yeah, because like this is what's left of it, and yeah, there you go. Definitely a parts car. It's slightly conifery in there. I think there's a water motor and washer bottle under there, but we're yet to find out. This is the first real look round it, other than when we picked it up. Show you what's what with it. I've had a quick poke in a couple of places, and it's just full of holes. Top wing rail's good. That's unusual. I freed up these door latches a bit, because that's why none of the doors are open, because they were just seized solid. But it's soggy and horrible, worse in the back. There's a lot of parts to come off it. A lot of parts have already been spoken for. There's some bits I need, some bits a mate of mine needs, and there's plenty of other people have been in touch wanting bits. Had to kick doors open. I mean, this door's rotten anyway, but I had to kick it open to get it to move whilst pulling the door handle, because everything just seized, and then freed these off. But they're all, the doors are rotten anyway. The roof lining is stopping most of the water coming in, not all of it. The carpet, if you can see under there, is absolutely soaking wet. I managed to get the fuel cap off, because the filler neck needs to come off. Now this door I can't open yet. You can hear it when you pull the handle inside, it's pulling the mechanism, but yes, grim. Let's get the bonnet. Yeah, you can see the state of it and how long it's been stood. I did do a bit of prep work, because I'm planning on getting this turning over and running. I took the plugs out, which are down there, gave them a clean up, and poured a load of penetrating oil down the bores. Now, I did get a camera in there, and the bores still had honing marks on and looked really good. They weren't particularly rusty, just minor specs, but nothing disastrous. So I'm hoping it's actually a good engine. The 130 engine, quite rare as well compared to the 1200s. Hopefully it'll run again. Under the front, similar story. I've moved a few things out of here. There's a set of springs, the other half of the front grille, bits and things, but everything's just grim. As I say, up there, It's just full of debris. I don't know what state the washer bottle's in yet. I know they do tend to crumble and disintegrate. Wiper motor under there somewhere. Yeah, everything is about at it. But it was bought as a 99.99999% sure it was a parts car, and it definitely is. The obviously you saw in the other one as well, my wheels are on it. It's about the shiniest bit. The other wheels are all stacked up, potentially sold already. And this can't stay too long. I had my landlord came round, dropped some paperwork off the other day, and he passed comment that I think that one's a bit far, I don't think you can save it. And yeah, he's correct. And there's the fact he's seen it and he knows it's here, it needs to go quite quickly. Because I've still got that one on axle stands, still got that one on ramps, and yeah, they're okay. I've still got that one over there which works, but it's just getting a bit too full, too many old cars kicking around. Hopefully I'll try and get it running. Yeah, we'll see, won't we? And I'll wait till it stops raining because it's horrible. Got a couple of bits off so far for better access, and now I'm going to blow out the engine bay, get rid of all the conifer stuff so I can work on it. Dug out some of the muck, chucked into the corners for now, but right. That's a bit better. Let's just see what I'm working on now. Right, as I said before, pulled the plugs and chucked all the penetrating oil down the bores. So, fingers crossed, it shall have freed up, because it was solid, rock solid. It's not the belts, because these move slightly. You can see the alternator and the pump do move, so it's crank. It was full of good clean oil. It'll be a lot thinner now because of the amount of penetrating oil, but that's still clean on the mark. And the dipstick's not rusty or out like that, so that's a good sign. You can see it better there, look, the line. I'm going to drain that out before I do anything. Well, no, I'm going to try and see if it turns first. Alright, now it's cleared out a little bit, we can see a bit more what's going on. I'm going to try and keep you somewhere you can see, but by the nature of it, there's not a lot of space. So, first things first, which is solid, still solid. It's been sat for a week. Let's try it other way, see if it'll free. Oh, hang on. It's not solid that way. That's tight, that. That's moving now. Is that just freed up? No. There you go. That's going around and hitting something or getting stuck at that point. So the rust line on the bore, but the bores didn't look bad. That's going right around now. There you go. That's going solid, so I reckon that's got stuck valves. Oh, there you go. That's quite free. I put a mark on it the other day to see if it'd move at all, but it didn't. But that's going right around full. Yeah, do you hear that then? The knock. That means it's hitting. It's hitting something internally. So that'll be a valve that's stuck. Wind it backwards and forwards a few times. That's good news. There you go, yeah. Rock solid. That's a good sign the crank's not seized. And that's quite free, that's nice. Oh, away. That's just gone past. Will that do a full turn now? It's got a tight spot there. That's free spinning nearly. Oh yeah. That must be just pushing them valves closed. I'll stop that rattling on there, sorry. That's going round in circles now, not getting stuck. And I can hear compression as well. Oh, a week soaking. That's brilliant. A week soaking. Freed that up. I'm going to take that off anyway. Get the air filter off, because see if it's full of mice, dropping mice stuff. I don't think it was. Everything's conifer debris, not actually mice. He's had mice inside. Yeah, I reckon I'll get this off and just check the valves and see how bad it is. Shall I not? Shall I just? No, because with one of them stuck, it probably all the way up. Right, okay, let's get some of that off. Get the air filter off. Get the oh, that's solid. Everything's so old and been stood for so long. There you go. That'll probably just break. Okay, that's right. We'll put this man out. There it is. It seems weird me working on one of these because I haven't touched one for a bit. The last one I did, obviously I took the engine, swapped it out of the brown one, but I didn't have to do anything to that engine, it was sweet. I just changed the oil on it, if I remember rightly. I don't remember much, to be honest, so it could be anything. There's a throttle spring there. Is that it for these? I don't know. Or is there a third one? Oh yeah, is that one? Yeah, there's one in the middle, typically. Oh yeah, I remember that one. It's awkward to get at. Not as awkward now, I've got ratchet ring spanners. That was a good purchase. And there was a video I did where I said I didn't have a 15mm. And my dad got us one for Christmas. He's like, you need one of them, why have you not got one? Like, because the set I bought didn't have one. So I now do. Yeah, that's it. Right. Filter off, and doesn't look too bad in there. What's it like in there? I can't see. A bit fluffy, isn't it? But they expect that. Right, okay. Get the other bolt off the rocker cover, and see what's what. Now I have preempted that this will run and it'll be fine, because I bought a head gasket set for it, because that It's the old thing they always used to be famous for, but not horrendously. So if it's actually good in here and it gets running, I'm going to clean it up and put a new head gasket on, and then it's a going concern to sell it, because if anybody's after a 130 engine, this one will be available as soon as possible, really, because I don't really want to be having too much stuff laying about, because I ain't got the room. It's a bit stuck. Get that muck out before I open her up. See what this is going to be like in here. Fuel pipe in the way, but ooh, that bolt's a bit rusty. Well, I don't think there's any sign of head gasket issues in there, because that is nice. That's a good sign. That looks really clean. Apart from that one bolt there, a bit of surface rust, and that's, in fact, that's just, yeah, that's looking nice. Let's just clean that off before any bits get any further. Just them 4 bolts, really. I'm pleased with that anyway. She's a bit dry, gasket's hanging off, but right, I was just chucking it down a minute ago, so I had to hide the camera. But I wound it over a couple of times. This valve, I had to loosen that off to check, see if the arm was seized. Sorry, I look at what I'm doing, not what I'm filming. I've had to loosen this off and get that push rod out, because this one, I didn't know if it was the arm that's seized, or, but that's one of the cam followers. If you tap them, they go back down. It's just lack of lubrication, so what I'm going to do is pour a load of oil down this side in there, and that'll get through to all the cam follows and lubricate those up, then carry on winding it round. Hopefully they'll all start playing, because if they all do that and they all go up and down, then I can get fuel, not straight away, but I've got the fuel pipe off and then into a tank, and get the starter motor off my car, and we can carry on winding it round. Get some oil, get the oil changed first, get some oil pressure, and see where we can go, because this is just a bit stuck from being stood. There's no major corrosion in there, there's no sign of head gasket, but it will probably be rotten. They always do when they've been stood for a while. They lose the water, they dry out and they crumble. So the plan is, get it turning over, get some oil changed, get some fuel in it, and see if you'll start. See if we've got a spark as well, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Yeah, speaking of which, I'll put a video in now of me. I had a play about with it when I put power on it last night, and I'll show you what happened. I just connected the battery up, and I was going to just see what lights we've got, see if there's anything works whatsoever. And it does. Years and years stood, and I haven't touched anything bar turning things on. Now, there's obviously no indicator red light this side, it's never going to work, but I've got a side light. I haven't tried the headlight yet, because the stalks are unplugged. I've got indicator working. I've got no indicator there. Give it a wiggle just for a laugh. No, don't want to play. But what I do have, interior lights just come on. I've got, oh, that's just gone off. That was on a minute. There you go. Got both tail lights, hazard lights, both number plate lights. That one wasn't on a minute ago, so that's just woke itself up. I only had one reverse light. I was going to say scrap it, lights don't work. This is ridiculous. And some dash lights, but that's nuts. The only thing I don't have, as you'll see in a second, and get the torch, open this up to have a look, and I don't think that's going to start. The starter motor's been had a while ago. There's bolts for it, but it's alright, I can borrow it off mine. I was going to pick one up when I was there, when I got the car. I had one in my hand and I thought, no, it's alright, I won't need one. I should have got one. Back on with it in the daylight now. I chucked a lot of oil down all the rockers. The rocker arms are actually free, the ones that are off. They're free and you can move them about. So it's the cam followers that are a bit tight. This one, the valve's stuck down. I managed to get it back up a couple of times, but it's gone tight again, so... But you'll see what I mean. Wind it round, and you can see all the valves going up and down. And then when you get number 8 at the back, it goes down, look, and then doesn't come back up. All the rest of them are free. Just that one at the end, and it started raining again. You can hear they're all free. The chink of them. Right, rain stops, play again. Back on it until the next load of rain appears. Literally all I'm doing at the moment is winding it round, and the only bits that are sticking is this one at the back. Doesn't quite return on its own. The rest of them do, and now it's completely free. So all I have to do is keep tapping that one down until the cam follower is happy. I might have to take the side plate off and get in there, because all the rest of them work fine. Just that one that's sticking, and it's not the valve, because when it goes down and then you wind it back off, the push rod's still solid. So it's not the valve. This valve, obviously, elephant in the room. I just need to find a means of getting it to come back up. But like, goes down all right, and it starts to come back up, but so it is just a case of trying to rotate it, get it to free up without breaking a screwdriver or a spring or anything else. But I just keep having to keep at it and keep going at that. Well, that's not working. Number 8 cam follower's freed up. It's only literally just sticking a tiny bit now. Just tap it and it goes away. It drops back inside, sorry. But the valve is still stuck. It'll go down and it'll come so far back up. I suspect that's where the rusty bit is. It's an exhaust valve. That'd be where the rusty bit is, where it's been sat all that time. So that piece probably doesn't want to go up inside the valve guide. I might have to set the exhaust and manifold and that off before I can run it. I don't really want to. I was hoping to get it fired up as it is, just to prove it works, and then take it apart and rebuild it or refresh it. Right, we're getting somewhere. That clean one is the stuck one. It's nowhere near as tight now. And then wind it round, and the resistance on the piston is next to nothing to push it that far up. When it gets that far up, I can get this in underneath the collet, the top, and then pop it back out. It's tight, but it's moving. 5 minutes ago, it wasn't doing that. So it's just a case of this over and over. Hopefully, can I do it that way without having to? No, I can't get in. So I need to wind it round a bit more each time just to poke it back up. I put a load of penetrating oil in and then put the plug in and then wound it round so it would have pushed it up inside the valve into the exhaust port. That seems to have worked because it wouldn't do anything before. Now it's, I mean, that's not really much effort at all. Maybe if I can get it down part way, I can still get this in. There we go. That's jumping back up on its own now. We might be able to get somewhere with it. There you go. It's almost coming back up. No effort at all. Minimal effort. Until it gets stuck. I've gone too far down. See, that's now popping back up, banging on its own. And I've got a running the risk of losing the collets, so I have to be careful. That's definitely getting better. Yeah. Bit more of this until we're good. But that's looking a lot better. Got it. Beautiful. There we go. She's unstuck. That's now bouncing. That took a while. I need to know that now comes back up on its own. Not quite yet, but that will come up nicely. He says. Maybe a bit more. See, it's literally a touch. So by the time if I get that cranking over and just keep popping it up, that'll be nice. Yeah, even that end one that was sticking is good now. Last bit of the oil draining out, it's actually quite clean. The one on the left, you can see the light through it. I've dropped the oil filter off. I've got a new one, so for the purposes of this, I'm going to just drain it and bang it back on, run it through with some clean oil. If it runs, then I'll put the new filter on after. Also, I couldn't really film anything, but start motor's on off my other car. Just need to work out which wire goes where, because there's two. One that goes to the coil for your ballast wiring to give it a full boost while you're cranking, and the other one is your trigger for starting. Mine's got different connections onto this car, so we'll have to wait and see. I've got a remote start thing anyway, so I'm not going to be climbing around on the dashboard. Or I might try it from the key anyway. I say key, I mean the screwdriver in the plug, because we never had any keys. But yeah, it's all a bit grim. You might notice windscreen's clean because it's not in anymore. That's going to a mate of mine who's got one as a spare because it's just chipped. So, right, let's get on with it, see where we end up. Rain stop play. I got it refilled with oil. I got the battery in and the slave starter, and it absolutely hammered it down. So I've shut the boot lid on just to keep the water out of the engine, and microphone's wet through. Yeah, so depending on whether this passes will depend on this video carrying on now or for me tomorrow. I'm hoping to get it out on Saturday night as usual, but there's a good chance that this isn't going anywhere, but we'll see. It's starting to stop raining. Hopefully it'll finish soon because I want to get it started. Well, started. I'm going to crank it. I want to see if I've got a spark. I want to see if I've got any oil pressure. At the moment, I'm just literally stood in the back of the van waiting for this to stop. Seems to have gone now at last. Right, let's get back on it. Okay, let's start again. Right, everything's back in, apart from the plugs. I'm going to wind it over. I've got the coil disconnected. Once I get oil pressure, I have just noticed that this gasket is hanging off the edge here. There's also a gasket on the rocker cover, so it's got two stuck on it, which isn't ideal. So somebody got a bit keen with that. The water pipe is in here, which I'm not going to worry about just yet. If it runs and I want to get it warmed up, I'll replace that. I've got some. Replace that and chuck some water in just for now. See if I've got a spark, everything's wired up correctly. There was a couple of wires off, so I've just been looking at the manual. As far as I know, I've got it right. Just that one there to the coil. It's your 12 volt feed, and then when you crank in, when it's running, and you're getting a reduced voltage through that one to your ballast resistor, I think. I bought myself a remote start little trigger thing, so I don't have to go to the front all the time. But for now, what I am going to do is stick you there and zoom in on the dashboard, if it'll work. There we go, any better. See if we've got any dash lights, and if we have we got any oil pressure light or anything, because that's the first thing I want to see gone out. Because it is wired up, so it should start. Oh, we did have an oil light last night, we haven't now. I need to know if that works. Where's the switch? There. That's a bit oily. Get back on. Have we got one now? No. Damn it. I can't see it, so I'll try and earth that out on something. Right, okay, so the oil light does work. It did work last night. Would appear the oil pressure light isn't working. That's not handy. See if we're cranking. Don't know if we've got oil pressure or not, that's the problem. Remote starter's connected up, coil's off. Ugh, that one's loose, that's stuck again. Where's that? I need to keep an eye on that one. Right, let's give it a crank and see if we can get any oil up it. Yep, well that's a start. That one's working now, look. That one's fine. I'm getting oil coming out of here, so we've got oil coming up. That'll do for a minute. Yeah, that valve's now working perfect. Right. Shall we see if we've got a spark? Right, ignition, everything's off, so let's get into dizzy cap, which is filthy. Can clean these points up. And clean that for starters. That's a bit grotty. Chuck a light in there because it's. No, let's get that side for you. Just try and clean these points up. I've got a bit of cloth. Wet and dry. They're moving at least, anyway. And get that pinched in between the two and try and. It's not ideal. I did have a points file years ago where there's a double-sided diamond tip file and you put it between the two and you clean them up. They don't actually look bad. It's not on the cam at the minute, so if I connect the coil up and put the ignition on, have we got any spark at the pints? I've got a spark on the screwdriver. You can see that. We do. That means we have. That means we've got working points. Let's give this a clean because that's rainwater, but the inside's a bit. It's not wet, but grotty. Yeah, that's not brilliant, but. There is one in the front, but it doesn't look any better than that, to be honest. I'm going to put the rotor on. There it is. Pick a lead, any lead. A spark plug. This is an easier way of doing it because I've got a remote start thing. Gonna turn that. Now the ignition's still on. Now this has got a ballast resistor system on it, so I don't know whether that's wired because there's a wire off on the starter motor. Can't tell if it's sparking or not. No, it's not. Okie dokie. That might be, like I say, because there's a wire off on the starter and it doesn't fit. Because that's the one that will give you ballast power when you're cranking it. Let's try a different lead and different plug. No. Okay. So I had it at the points. Do they even open, or is that gap too big? Let's have a look at that, shall we? I didn't do that bit. Yeah, right, there's a spark there when I do it by hand. I don't know if you can see that or not. There is a spark there. I say there's the where's my spark plug gone? Let's try a different spark plug. Right, I connected up that other wire underneath, so now we should have a spark. I'm just doing it directly from the coil lead without getting belted. You can see that. There's a spark. It's not a very good one, but it's there. So go back to a plug lead, pick a lead, any lead, try again, see if we get any spark. No spark at all. Okie dokie. It's getting dark now. Oh, we got a spark, but it's very weak. I might stick the plugs in and get a bit of compression in it and see what it sounds like. I can always then check with another spark plug externally. Let's get these back in. They've all been cleaned up, they're a bit moist, but you never know what'll happen. I've got plenty of oil getting on the top end. It's always a good sign. No doubt these will be back in and out no end of times. No tub of petrol. It's a long shot, but got no to lose, have we? The alternator wiring, alternator light's gone off. So we've got a problem with electrics, maybe. Wouldn't surprise me. Where's that green wire go? There it is. I think that's your fueling one, but that clicked anyway, so that's got power. As I said, I don't think it's going to start. Can't get a decent spark, but no, not yet. I know the starter motor's alright because it's the one that came off mine. And give the starter a minute. Oh, charging light's back on again. Wish the oil light would work. It was on last night. Is it just shorting out because it's leaking oil now or something daft? Because if you earth it out, you're going to see it working. So the wire's working, there's a switch that's not. Although I saw it last night and it wasn't on. That's never going to start like that. That's better. Here we go again. Let's try again with the points. See, it has got a little spark. Are they free enough? No damaged wiring anywhere. Is that still connected? I just need to clean them up a little bit more. That's about the only thing I can do at the minute. I'm running out of time. Far from ideal, but it's a bit more coarse, so it might. Get it off the cam. That remote starter thing, I bought it last night. And I thought, that's going to make life so much easier than being sat at the front of the car trying. Battery voltage there, and there. That's your ballast side. Why is that so high? I'd have thought that would have been 9 volt. Disconnect the ref counter because I don't need that at the minute. That's the ballast working. Coil's not too hot. Let's just try it with a new clean spark plug and see if we've got any sort of spark at all. It sparked once. It sparked once, but nothing more. And the plug leads could be absolutely knackered and tracking between each other. They're all wet through as well. None of that actually helps. No, no spark. Right, I reckon that will we'll call that a day for today. Running out of light rapidly, but we've got there so far. Got quite a way through. Only I got a logbook back today, and I've seen in the paperwork this is its original engine from new, and all the bolts that hold the rear panel on look like they've never been off, which is a good sign because it worked. I know it did drive when parked, as they say, or drove when parked. Yeah, you can see now it's getting a bit dark. Literally, as soon as the rain stopped, we started getting dark. Right, well I tried a little bit more, clean the points up again, and didn't get anywhere. Still getting no real spark, so I'm going to call that a day for tonight. I thought I'd have a quick shot. Ever the optimist, but no. It sounds good though, got good compression. Everything's working, everything's free, got good oil pressure in theory, because I'm getting oil at the top. Yeah, bit of a long video. I'll have to chop this down quite a lot, but thank you very much for watching. Yeah, usual like, comment and subscribe if you want. It would help me out, and hopefully there'll be another video quickly tomorrow, and this will start. But I was put off a lot with the rain, as you've seen, had sort of ages and that, on and off all day. So it's not finished, it's not started, but we're a damn sight nearer than we were this morning.